Hello and welcome to our Intro to Functions video. What we're going to do in this video is go over our study guide. Now, what you should do before you watch this video is make sure you've gone through and done all the questions. This is really just to kind of go through, make sure you understand everything and correct any mistakes that you made, things like that. So make sure you work on the problems first, but without any delay, let's get started. Alright, problem number 1, it says, which of the following sets of ordered pairs represent functions? Well, in order for them to be functions, they need to have no x values that repeat. So I'm just going to go through here. I got 5, 7, 2, 0, 0. So because these two x values repeat, that is not a function. Negative 2, 0, negative 2, not a function. 2, 1. Negative 2, 0, 12. That is a function. So far we have C. Negative 3, negative 4, 5, 6. That is a function. And last one, negative 3, negative 2, negative 3. So it looks like the answer in this case is C and D, because of course the x values do not repeat. Alright, next question, determine which graph is a function. We can figure this out by using a vertical line test. So I'm going to put my vertical line, I'm going to use this guy right here, red line here, and I'm going to move that vertical line around. And yeah, it's not perfect, I know, but just imagine. As you can see in A, this vertical line only crosses, no matter where I put it, once. See? Right there. Once. Or here. Okay. Switch off the laser pointer. Or here. Once. That's what makes A a function. Same deal with B. No matter where I cross, only crosses once. C. Only crosses once. We got a cheater over here. Do you see this? Crosses both here and here. That's 2 points in the same x value. It's trying to repeat. It's a cheater, not a function. Oh my goodness, this line right here, that's a horrible cheater. That's a cheater everywhere. So nope. The only functions that we have here are A, B, and C. Sorry, I can't circle C. It's blocked by my tools here. Let me put that away. There we go, C. Alright, so on. The height of a ball thrown in the air is modeled by the equation h sub t is equal to negative 16 squared plus 64t, where h represents the height in feet and t represents number of seconds the ball passed since the ball was hit. What is the height of the ball after 3 seconds? Okay, there's a hint here. It says 3 seconds. Seconds is a measure of time, so time is going to represent t. So what that must mean is we're going to have to replace 3 with the variable t. Are you ready for this? I'm going to rewrite our equation. Actually, let me back up and erase a little bit. Okay, so we know we're plugging in 3, so we're going to call it h of 3. And we're going to have negative 16 times 3 squared plus 64 times 3. So we got to follow order of operations here and square first. That's going to give me a 9. So we have 9 times negative 16 plus 64 times 3, which by the way is 192. We have a negative times a positive. Negative 16 times 9 is negative 144 plus 192. The signs are not the same. So when we subtract, we get h sub 3 is equal to 48. So you see on this problem, when they tell you the unit of measure with it, it's a hint as to which variable you're replacing. 3 goes in for t. Next question. Math Club is selling raffle tickets to raise money for the fall ball. Of course they are. The raffle tickets cost 12 cents each at the office supply store. They spent $75 making t-shirts for the club members, They're selling raffle tickets for $3 each. If X represents the number of raffle tickets they sell, following functions can be used to represent the situation where C of X is the club's cost and R of X is the amount of revenue they make selling tickets. Alright, so before we get into this, we need to think about what C is the cost. Let's think about what this means. So C is the cost and R is the revenue. So cost, obviously you guys probably figured that out. It just means how much something costs versus the revenue. Revenue is how much money they make. So we need to write an expression that represents the profit made. Well, you can think back to like a lemonade stand. Profit is how much money you make after you take away your costs. So in other words, it's revenue minus cost. See, just fancy algebra way of writing, things that you already know, just using fancy notation. So now all we need to do is substitute. R of X equals 3X minus, I'm going to put some parentheses here, 0.12X plus 75, which equals C of X. So technically here we have an expression. If you wanted to simplify, 3 minus 0.12 is equal to 2.88x. And we're also distributing that minus sign to 75, so minus 75. This is an expression that could be the revenue minus cost. Alright, we are moving along. Dawn needs to find the area of a rectangular room. Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. Area of a rectangular room, have you drawn it yet? Not, you should. So rectangular room, wants to determine how much tile she needs to buy, length and width. Okay. I'm going to label this side 5x minus 7, this side x plus 20. You guys agree? That doesn't matter which side, you can label, switch up, doesn't matter. We want to write a function that correctly represents the area. Okay? Area of a rectangle is length times width. So what I need to do is I need to multiply this. And this goes back to that first unit we did where we just multiplied polynomials. So it's 5x minus 7 times x plus 20. We have a binomial times a binomial, so we're going to do a little hua, hua, and hua, hua. Of course, when we do that, we are multiplying. So 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times 20 is 100x. Negative 7 times x is negative 7x, and negative 7 times 20 is minus 140. Now, if you combine like terms, like so, 100x plus negative 7x is 93x minus 140. So there we go. That is an expression for the area of that rectangle. Alright, I kind of lumped a couple questions together here. So we got be able to explain what a rate of change means in the context of the problem. And so some people are like, what do I write there? Well, let's look at number 7. Pizza Palace offers 5 sizes: 8-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, 14-inch, and 16-inch. Cost of making pepperoni pizza can be expressed as a function of the diameter of the pizza. Sorry, I kind of got cut off there. Might sound a little weird. Just follow along with me here. So this is a lot of fancy talk here. And all it's saying is what is the average rate of change? And we want to go from a 10-inch to a 14-inch. So you know what that means? That means that all this other stuff is just not important. So I'm going to cross it all out. 10 and 14. So we don't need to know the 8. We don't need to know the 12. Don't need to know the 16. So what is the average rate of change? Okay, so you may have heard of average rate of change here. And one way we can write it is like something called slope. And slope is the measure of the y variables minus the x variables. And you subtract them and then divide. So we can call this x and y. And I'm going to plug in variables here. So if I do 1359 minus 899 and divide that by doing 14 minus 10. 14 minus 10 is 4. And 1359 minus, whoa, that's a weird looking 4. Let's try that again. So minus 899 is $4.60 divided by 4. And if you divide that, you get $1.15 over 1, or just $1.15. So now let's go back to 6. What the heck does all that mean? All we did was plug things into y's and x's, but really we found a rate of change, so we need to interpret this. Well, our y values, these guys right here, that's cost, that's money. So it's money divided by over here, that's diameter of pizza. So what that means is for every 1 inch of diameter of pizza you have, it's going to cost you $1.15 more. So to explain that, what it means, the rate of change, the $1.15 rate of change means for every $1, the pizza is going to cost you $1.15 more for every 1 inch of diameter you add. So that's what it means by be able to explain what the rate of change means. And if you're having a hard time with that, just go back to what these labels tell you. What is this? What is this? It's this divided by that. And they tell you right there in the problem what they are. Okay? That takes a little bit of practice, but you should be able to explain it for the test. Furniture store charges $7.5% sales tax on the cost of the furniture and a $50 delivery fee. Delivery fee is not subject to sales tax. The following functions represent the situation. Oh my goodness. F of A is equal to 1.075A and G of B is equal to B plus 50. Write the function G of F of A. Oh my goodness, this is a function within a function. What are we going to do? No need to fear. It's just called a nested statement. So what we're going to do is first look at our innermost layers here, and I see F of A. What is F of A? Instead of writing what F of A is, I'm going to replace it, instead of writing F of A, I'm going to replace it with what it actually is. So instead of writing F of A, I'm going to write 0.175A. And I know to do this because it's this innermost layer. This is called a nested statement because it's nested inside. Alright, so that's the innermost layer. Now we need to go to the outermost layer. And what is G of B? Well, I guess since we're using B now, this is going to replace whatever we had for F of A. So it's this 1.075A plus, we also have to add what else is being done to. So this is where F of A is going to get replaced. And here's just the other part. So it becomes plus 50. So write a function, so G of F of A equals 1.075A plus 50. It's really like all you're doing is combining parts of a function, and it's not so bad. Looks scary, really not so bad. Alright, remember to ask questions if you have them in class. Alright, I think this is where we're going to stop for part 1. We'll have a part 2 for the other questions. Hopefully we can have some shout-outs because I didn't find any shout-outs. This is part 1, but I'm going to end with my sign-off here. Don't forget that you are important, you are cared for, you're listened to. Hope you come back for part 2. I'll see you later.